Shanquella's mother, and I've heard this also in other interviews, but it didn't register to me.
Mom.
Shanquella's mother said
her other daughter looked just like this is her twin, but Shanquella looked like her dad.
That she heard of a rumor of a fight.
That's the one that was fighting her.
The Cabo Six came back from Mexico. When did they come back from Mexico? They came back. They're supposed to have been a best friend after she died.
One,
they were supposed to fly back on the 31st,
4,
but they flew out early to get the hell out of Mexico, and they flew out October 30th. But before they came back, there was a video circulating. So a lot of people in the beginning, even myself, believed that Elise leaked the video for protection to show, hey, I had nothing to do with this. Somebody else did it. A lot of people thought Elise leaked the video. Now come to think about it, was this video shown in real time? Did the Cabo Six post this video in real time within a few minutes of the fight, before she even died, before that final blow was hit? And the reason why I'm saying that, and some other people have caught on to this, and Nancy Grace has caught on to this, is because Shanquella's mother, and she has mentioned this prior, and I'm just now realizing this, they heard her husband, her family, heard about a fight before the Cabo Six came back from Mexico. So before October 30th, they heard about it. She died on the 29th, and then they heard about it before they flew back on the 30th. So there was somebody out there in the community that saw the video and told their parents. And the mother, which I will let you listen to it. I will let you listen to the clip. Just hold on a second. The mother said, Miss Robinson.
Online. Someone sent the video to us online.
Someone sent it to you?
Yeah. When the video probably was, I believe the video was out before Shanquella actually had died, because someone called me and told me before they even arrived back to Charlotte from North Carolina that they was over there fighting her, so I didn't know how true it was. So after they got back, Shanquella had passed, the video had surfaced on Facebook, and someone sent it to my family. It started coming out. The video started coming out.
That is a really big deal. Alexis Tereshchuk joining me, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Alexis, is that correct? And I'm going to follow up with you, Crispin, about how I can prove it's correct. I can't just blurt it out it's correct without knowing. Alexis, is it possible these girlfriends post the video of Quella completely naked, being beaten to her death in the bedroom before she's even pronounced dead?
Yes, and that's what the timestamps and the information that has shown up on different websites where the video has been seen shows that it was almost like it was not a live broadcast, but really in real time happening. It didn't show up weeks later. It showed up almost immediately.
How can I prove that, Robert Crispin?
So this is one of the reasons that the FBI is involved now, because they have a unit called the Extraterritorial Unit for Crimes when you get a request from foreign governments to help them investigate cases for crimes against U.S. citizens, which I'm sure you're very well aware of that. How we're going to prove this? Social media, it's all digital. And through subpoenas, we're going to get IP addresses, we're going to get who owns the phone that sent that, we're going to get the accounts, we're going to get everything. It's just going to slowly start to unwind on, one, who owned the phone that shot that video, who posted that. And in this case, with that video, is just probably the most key piece of evidence that any investigator wishes they had on so many other crimes. Is people just don't think, and social media has clear.
Well, I feel like that, yeah, they should go through this with a fine-tooth comb and grab everything and everybody that was in that room. That's all, point blank, period. It was 6 of them, and if all 6 can't prove, well, you know all 6 can't say they weren't there because she ain't died just by herself. They showed the video. So, all of them can't stand in there and say, I wasn't in there. You got the dude holding the camera, the girl beating her, Shaquilla. Then you got, well, you don't count Shaquilla because it said it was 6 of the friends, so altogether it was 7 of them. It wasn't 6, it was 7, including Shaquilla. And after Shaquilla died, then that made it 6. So altogether it was 7 people before this girl here passed, Shaquilla. So when she passed, it left 6, so that means that if it was 3 in the room, including Shaquilla, with the girl beating her, where were the other 4? Where were the other 4? Either way, they was in there. You ain't about to sit here and tell me, like I tell Charlotte all the time, we ain't staying in no mansion. So I know doggone well if I'm sitting here in the living room and you in your bed, I know you can hear me, especially if I'm talking loud. Just like now, ain't no sound or nothing going. Even if the sound was going, you still can hear. You choose unless you got that selective hearing. That's what I call it. But in this case right here, you hear all, unless them people weren't in the room, weren't in there. That's the only way I could say that you didn't hear none of the commotion. If any of them can prove that they weren't in the room at the time, but you're not about to sit here and make me believe that y'all, and everybody won't sleep. That girl beating that girl like that and beat her to death, and nobody stepped in. Really and truly, that one holding that camera.
Some TikToks about this too, that the nails, when Winter was doing push-ups, those nails were white, fully white. It seems that the person maybe videotaping is Elise, because Elise did have French tip nails, and those nails holding the phone looks like it's French tip nails. And you will be able to see at the dinner when Elise is walking after the chefs are cooking. I'm going to post a video in a second. They're going to be walking by, and you will be able to see the nails. Okay? And so we can't 100% say that's Winter. Maybe there's a glare or something with the lighting while the person's holding the phone. I don't know. But we can't just jump to conclusions with one detail. Oh, white nails, everything is white. No. You need to go look a little deeper. And if you know about nails, you get your nails done, you know there's a difference between French tips and a full set, like just white nails.
Right.
So we need to pay attention, because that maybe makes sense why Elise has been so quiet, right?
Mm-hmm.
We thought she was quiet because she leaked the videos because she was trying to protect herself, that she didn't have nothing to do with it. Maybe she's quiet because she doesn't want people to realize that it's not Winter. It's her actually filming. Because a lot of people wanted to give this girl leeway. You know, her sister just recently died. You know, how can she do this? Well, how can she go on a freaking trip on the same day her sister was murdered?
What?
Like literally hours after.
What?
She still flew to Cabo. So check it out. Just some of my ideas.
Oh, that's
this
crazy.
is like just a short little pod.
So you mean to tell me this girl here went to Cabo after just hearing
even more misinformation breaking in this story every
she
day.
looked different every time they show her.
Report was released. I thought finally we were going to get to some
She
truth
looked like a
about
mama,
what
but she
really
favored her
happened.
daddy
But after
more.
hearing the details of the report, reading many articles, and listening to numerous
When she
interviews,
smiled, she
I
looked
had
like a
more
mama.
questions than answers. So I thought I would do a little digging of my own and found some pretty damning evidence. Things that no one seems to be reporting on. One thing is sure, the police report is rife with timelines that directly conflict with the death certificate. And what is even more glaring is that there was not one single successful medical remedy from the doctor who, as it states in the police report, literally observed Shanquella's bruised and swollen face, eyes and busted lips, looking for signs of responsiveness for almost 3 hours, but made no mention of its physical condition. But listen to what Nazir had to say about that.
Oh yeah, he guilty.
I didn't really notice the knot on her head.
How you not notice?
The nurse pointed it out. I did see the bump on her lip. She did have a blood vessel busting her eye.
Did you hear that? He said he didn't notice the bruises on her face until the nurse, which we all know was a doctor, pointed it out to him. It was an intentional omission, not one that was missed because of the color of her skin. Nazir divulged more information than we first thought, but he also knows much more than he wanted.
Exactly.
And we're going to get into it. We're going to get into what the friends, also known around social media as the Cabo Six, what they did to hide Shanquella's death well before Nazir and the doctor arrived. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And we're going to talk about where the alcohol poisoning story came from, why Nazir knows more than he's telling us, and why the doctor, police, and municipal authorities would risk their careers, let the friends flee, and go so far as to lie on the police report. And finally, I'm going to lay out a step-by-step timeline for what may have happened. On October 28th, a vibrant 25-year-old entrepreneur, Shanquella Robinson, traveled for birthday celebrations with 6 of her friends: Dejanay Jackson, Khalil Cook, Elise Hyatt, Winter Donovan, Malik Dyer, and Nazir Wiggins. They stayed at the swanky beach club resort Cabo Villas in Fundadores, San Jose de los Cabos, Baja California Sur. And in less than 24 hours of their arrival, their lives would be forever changed. Shanquella Robinson.
About 6 or 7.
Shortly after that, the friends called back stating that Shanquella had died from alcohol poisoning. But where did this determination come from without a doctor's diagnosis?
They told me that Khalil was sick and she was showing signs of alcohol poisoning. And they got that because one of their friends told them that they were seeing signs. So she was showing symptoms of alcohol poisoning.
Did you hear that? They called their friends for help with the alcohol poisoning story before calling for medical help. Why? The Cabo Six immediately packed up their things and returned to the States early, leaving it up to Shanquella's family to find. He Googled funeral homes to find his daughter.
So me and my brother got on that phone and started Googling all the funeral homes that was over in Mexico, Cabo. So we came up with funeral home Riviera, funeral home over there.
Khalil Cook, who was said to be Shanquella's best friend, remained close to the family, making numerous and daily visits to Salamandra's home. One of the visits was to return Shanquella's luggage and her personal effects, but all of the visits were to stay up to date on what the family knew.
He came to the house 4 days in a row until he found out we knew what the autopsy said. Haven't seen him since.
A couple of days after the friends returned to North Carolina, rumors about a fight began to swirl among Shanquella's college friends. In one of Khalil's visits with Salamandra, he brought with him 2 of the women from the trip, Dejanay Jackson and Winter Donovan. Together, they had dinner, grieved with, and consoled the family. When Salamandra questioned them about the fight rumor, the friends stood firm on their story. It was alcohol poisoning, and that no fight had occurred on the trip. Salamandra said when she talked to the friends individually, each of them was telling different stories. According to the family, the Mexican authorities had corroborated the alcohol poisoning story at least until November 3rd, when the death certificate was released and revealed a very tragic truth: that Shanquella had suffered a broken neck and cracked spine and died from a severe spinal cord injury, atlas luxation, within 15 minutes of sustaining the injury. Her official time of death was 3 p.m. Saturday, October 29th. And wouldn't you believe, shortly after the certificate's release, the friends deactivated their social accounts and telephone numbers, and all communications with the friends stopped. Around November 16th, a video emerged on social media showing Shanquella being brutally assaulted by one of the friends, Dejanae Jackson, while the other friends sat by and watched. Video recorded the incident. In the viral video,
So they had to pull her out of the bed.
by one of the friends, you can see Shanquella naked, being punched, kicked, kneed in her face, and tossed around by her neck like a rag doll. The blows were audible, vicious, quick, and numerous. Shanquella did not fight back. You can hear Shanquella verbally decline to fight back when one of the friends recording the assault asked,
"Shanquella, can you at least fight back?"
Then another voice in the room says, "Why is she not fighting back?" Many have speculated this to be Winter Donovan, but the more I listen to it, the more I'm convinced it was the second male speaking in an elevated tone. The bearded man whose profile is visible from second 14 to second 17. The camera is located behind him, so his voice is directed away from the camera and is picking up more of the acoustics in the room. The woman's voice sounds much closer to the camera and can be heard much more clearly at second 16 when she says, The assault video shows at least 3 of the Cabo 6 were in the room watching, 2 men and 1 woman. The cameraman, who is speculated to be Billy Dyer, because when Salamadra was asked did she recognize the voice in the video, she said no. And to the left front of the screen, you can catch glimpses of another bearded man, who is said to be Khalil Cook, who was identified as the man seen in the video by Tequila, Shanquella's sister. One of Shanquella's college friends anonymously sent the video to the family, and they grew suspicious. Growing more suspicious about what had happened to Shanquella, her parents requested pictures from the Mexican coroner's office, and it confirmed their worst fears. Swollen eyes, busted lips, a knot on her head, and severe bruising on her back and neck. Obvious signs need to make it look like an accidental death by falling in the bathroom because she was drunk?
At that time, well, no, I skipped nothing. Quilla wasn't found dead. She wasn't found dead. The maids found her slumped over the toilet in her room. That's what they did find her, slumped over her toilet in her room. That's what I was told. Quilla was not dead when I got there.
Nazir was the last of the 6.
I was crossing my heart and hoping I was there the whole time in the game room. And then they was talking about cooking, so we made it to the living room. I put on some soft music, sitting with her, rubbing her head, just chilling, waiting until the nurse came. And that's what I was informed that was happening.
But what Nazir failed to mention is how he moved her to the living room. How did he do that alone? Did he do that alone? No, he said, we made it to the living room. And what he wants us to believe is that he and Shanquella walked to the living room, when instead it was he and the group that moved her lifeless body to the living room. How does